All right, guys. Sean and Don here. Couple things here. You're probably wondering why this video is on our outdoor adventure travel vlog. To be transparent, we actually own a fitness club here, and we have a channel. I'll post that channel up in the corner here in case you're interested in that, where we talk wellness to our members all the time. You know, CBD and exercise tips and goals and the struggles that happen in that. And I thought a lot about posting it there, but then what really made me want to post this here is it's this lifestyle that we wanted to have and continue to have, getting out in trails and hiking, and Dawn's knee wouldn't allow for it,
right,
at all. And so we're posting it here. If you're here about the total knee, because that's what caught your eye, and you're interested about our other stuff that we do, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're someone that's just there to see all the pretty outdoor videos that we do, skip this one, right? It has to be there. So a couple other things.
But it does. I think it's good. It does relate in a lot of ways just to the lifestyle that we want to have and are pursuing, and how without that knee surgery
we couldn't have done it.
It would have looked very different.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a second.
But wouldn't be able to participate in much else out there.
Yeah, you couldn't hike. So to be transparent too, I work at the hospital that we had the total knee at. I don't work in direct patient care. I'm actually in IT. But our hospitals, it's not considered a big city hospital, even though we're like in a city. It's not like in Seattle or something like that.
Right.
We would classify probably as rural medicine. And we're just going to tell you right now, they did an excellent job.
Super impressed. Yeah.
Super impressed. So Olympic Medical Center, they don't even know that we're doing this video, so I'll tag them in it, and maybe they'll watch it at some point and be like, "Oh, crap!" Super impressed, and very glad that we did do it locally.
Yeah, so many benefits to staying local.
And the other thing that we should just preference before we go into this is that there'll be chapters based on week that we're doing. We're at the 4-week mark, so as soon as we do this intro, we're going to pause, and then we'll do our 4-week review, and that'll be the final part of this particular section that we're doing. Is that it's unique for everyone, right? You're 47.
47.
Going to be 48 in a couple months, and it looks different for everyone. So this is our how it worked for us. Our tips that worked for us or didn't work for us is going to be in this video. I talk about it from a caregiver side when she was going through it, as we go through it, and a little bit on the patient side for sure, going through it, and we give you a lot of examples. So what we suggest may or may not work for you, but what we do encourage you to do is, if you're living with pain, man, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Seriously, I mean, she couldn't walk around the block at all. There may be, obviously with joint recovery, depending on your circumstance, you might need to wait. Like a lot of surgeons, they want you to get down to a certain body weight before doing that surgery. After going through it, I can understand why. They want you to be at a more ideal body weight for carrying that load, and I think
for rehab,
it would be really tough to go through it.
Yeah.
But with that, we hope you enjoy this. We hope you find it informational. This is our total knee journey as a couple, and we just hope it gives you perspective. And what we really hope it gets you to do is, if you're on the fence about it, you're ready to go get it done. Because if we didn't start this a year ago, by the time that her surgery came up, you couldn't even walk 200 meters without being in pain all day.
Right, and I was in pain all day and limping all day.
Yeah. Different, bolsters in the bed and stuff.
It was obviously it got really necessary at the end.
Yeah, and so don't wait. Quality of life is huge, and we want to get out there and live our life. And there's no guarantee in life, right? So get out there and get it done.
Yeah.
All right. With that, here comes surgery day, how that looked, and then a week 1 perspective. And once again, you skip around with chapters and stuff. We hope you enjoy. Look at this. Hey, Don Mason.
What?
This is our first walk in at least 3 weeks, right? Probably.
I mean, I walk.
Well, you
Not
do.
with you.
Not with me.
It's like my legs work.
They do work.
It's
But-
not that I haven't walked in 3 weeks.
But what happens tomorrow?
Well, usual. Nothing special.
Nothing special, but a
Special. A little nip and a tuck.
little lip and a tuck, or a total,
nip and a tuck.
or the total knee happens tomorrow.
Or whatever.
So for this,
It's called resurfacing now. They don't say total knee.
well, resurfacing, right there.
Whatever that means.
Okay, well, big surgery tomorrow for Dawn, and
And
we're really
some good
excited,
drugs.
huh?
Good drugs.
Good drugs too. Really excited about it.
Are we?
I am,
Oh yeah.
but you know, for all good reasons, Dawn's a little nervous, right? Nerve-wracking, but I'm really looking forward to us going outside for walks again together, where she's not in pain. So
It'll be slow for a while.
it'll be very slow for a while. So prayers and loves for Dawn. Knee time. What's next? What do we have to do?
I have to put on my anti-nausea patch.
Don't you take a shower or something too?
Yeah, take a shower.
You take a shower.
More disinfectant.
Here we go, guys. Monday morning. Here it is, folks. She's getting ready. Do you see her Christmas outfit? Those might be my Christmas pajamas.
They said loose fitting.
Yeah. Big boy Sean.
Dr. Dowd is pretty good at what he does.
All right, my love, I love you. I'll go to my office. You got this. Dawn is now out of surgery. She's in room, and the plan right now is potentially home tonight, but we thinking she's going to stay a night for the pain for us. Through the roof coming out,
When I
right?
came out, it was 10 plus, so they were scrambling to me to
Drugs on board.
get stuff on top of what I'd already taken.
Yeah, and so then she has her, that's her homemade ice, well, not her homemade, that's her ice machine that we had at home that we had to bring.
Strapped on already.
And we have all of this. So this is the knee that we got at work.
This is the catheter that goes to the pain pump
Pump
that I
pain.
get to take home for 3 days.
And, so,
Ice machine.
and that pump is basically like a local anesthesia, right?
And then these compression stations.
So now the plan is PT.
He's on their way, and I gotta
If they have to walk sooner than later. Right. But you're so brave. You're scared.
I don't remember. 7:20 to 11:20, look for hours. Erased from my memory. I
She
just remember- I
wanted
felt
that,
like
and
I
they
was-
gave her the drugs, and boom.
I felt like it hadn't even started yet. And she was like, everything's done. I was like, what? He was just getting started. It's weird.
But you did it.
I'm very anxious to see it. I want to get this off so I can see it.
No, it's gonna be forever. You take that off.
Well, no, it's see-through. I just want to see my feet.
She's gonna get a little tired. She hasn't eaten yet, but she's
Mine
doing
either.
good. And
And
she's,
I'm an eater.
yeah,
But I gotta tell you, honestly, good job because this memory is really nice.
that's really good, huh?
Yeah, some of these are just milkshakes.
You got milkshakes. Day 4. Dawn. We had the first shower. Right? We feel like
So good to have a shower.
we got the pain meds kind of sorted out here. So first shower, we have her in the machine now with the heating pad. Our neighbor is an occupational therapist. And so she came over and set a heating pad for her sciatic because that's going to be getting flaring with all the swelling that's happening in the thigh and calf of her knee that she worked on. But Dawn was, let's see, Dawn was somewhat unfortunate because the doctor said she's narcotic naive, which means she doesn't really take narcotics, right? And so they have no baseline on where to get her at. So they started off with hydrocodone, and after talking to the surgeon, the next day he's like, "That's not enough for her." I think it was a discharge and probably hospitals that assigned that dosage. And once again, it's a little bit of a guessing game. And so now we're on oxy, 5 milligrams of oxy, two
Yeah.
10 milligrams of oxy every 3 hours, with Toradol every 6 hours to offset, and then an aspirin for clotting, and Ambien a little bit to help sleep, and a stool softener. It's so much information, right?
Yeah.
But that seems to be
I
the
had my
right
first-
concoction right now.
Yeah, I think I had my first 2 hour sleep session, so maybe 6 hours total, but that was like so good compared to the other days.
Yeah, so good. All right, so this is day 4. The one thing that we are questioning is that this pain relief nerve block ends today. We suspect that,
We get to pull this out ourselves.
yeah, we suspect that this maybe not be working as it was intended to. When they tried to do the epidural on Dawn, they noticed as she was going out that she was wiggling her toes, and so they put her through a test and realized the epidural wasn't taking the way that they hoped, and so they knocked her fully out. But that epidural is really, and she's had problems in the past with that, is that epidural is something that helps you come out of the surgery and have your pain managed for that time until the drugs come on board. So she's been trying to come from behind this entire time, and we finally think that she's come from behind the best she can. And they have an amazing care team. It's great when a lot of your friends and acquaintances are medical professionals and part of the care system here. So they've been really stepping up and making sure she's comfortable and answering all our questions. And we have an amazing neighborhood where we live. So one person works at the pharmacy, they dropped off our drugs. The other one's an occupational therapist. She came over and did massages for Dawn yesterday and gave some advice for us. And so, and just everyone's just very supportive. So the biggest takeaway I'm going to have is no matter who you are, you need a support system to help you through this process. I couldn't imagine doing this alone, no matter how healthy you are. Okay.
I see the first problem immediately. No way are we going down to sharing. I don't know what's yours is mine. I think this is more of a his and her scenario. Okay, well, I need somewhere to put my stuff. If it's stale. Oh wow, that's a soft towel. Isn't it nice to freshen it up? Oh. All right, guys, there you go. Meet the beast. Come to the YouTube
YouTube channel near you.
Well, good morning, guys. We are southbound Flagstaff, Arizona, Expo West 2021.
Base model, throwback getaway. No kitchen, no water tanks, no fancy electronics. Just a rugged gear and toy hauler for our new home kayaks, which we have shipped ahead of us to be ready for its
Yeah, if we didn't refill that oxy, it would have had you out next to us. No, I have you. I have enough right now. Echo. Set a timer for 30 minutes. strap.
Pretty warm, actually. I'll get it for a while.
Right, baby. You want the ice machine?
These were good. Oh, yeah. See, this is the perfect spot for face packs. So that one I just roll around for a while. Keeps the kneecap free.
Ready? Here it goes. Set an alarm for 9:45 a.m.
Alarm set for 9:45 a.m. By the way, once the alarm is set, our sounds are received. Relaxation and focus.
No. How we do?
Only 60.
All right, a little update here. So, first off, it's Christmas Day 2021. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Whenever you're watching this journey here. This was our effort to document Dawn's total knee journey for people of our Storm King business or people that are thinking about it and the stuff that needs to be kind of thought about. Obviously, we're still in this journey. She's post-surgery, but we're 6 days. How many days are
Day 6, I think.
day 6? Monday?
Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah,
Wednesday,
day-
Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. So day 6. And boy, it's been rough in the sense of she stayed the night. And just to recap, she had surgery on Monday morning. They tried to put a epidural in her, and she typically has a hard time with those taking. And they once they started to go into the pre-surgery procedures, they could see her toes wiggling, and her primary surgeon, Dr. Gouge, and the anesthesiologist, who were both great, looked at each other, realized that's not a good sign, so they did a little couple tests on her and realized that the epidural is not really taking the way it's supposed to, so they had to fully knock her out. But that also made coming out of post-surgery, you didn't have that numbing effect in place, and so pain spiked really high. And without that epidural working properly, there was no way she could leave the day of. And I don't think that would even be recommended for anyone trying to leave day of. And depending on your age, you might need to stay a couple days in the hospital just to get your rhythm about you. Hard thing for Dawn. Also, she had like a lot of bone spurs, so she had a lot of damage in there. We'll try, we have some x-rays, hopefully I'll post them up in here so you can kind of see. But apparently that bone spur shaving also just adds to the intensity of the pain post-surgery. So if you're just dealing with the joint and some minor spurs or some minor resurfacing, I guess would be the way to say it, as minor as it can be in a major surgery, right? That it is less severe pain coming out, albeit I bet you it's still pretty damn high. But if you have bone spurs, or especially a significant one she did, much more painful likely. Another thing she had going against her, she was narcotic naive. That was a new term towards us. But they, in the provider field, that apparently means that there is no dosage history on this individual, and so they don't know where to start. So if someone had been taking, the doctor told us, like if we had some person taking 4 Percocet a day, we would know that we could, prescribe 20 Percocet if needed, that they would be able to do it. So they started her pretty low with what was the first thing they gave you home?
Hydrocodone.
Yeah, hydrocodone, and that was
Just what, Vicodin, I think?
yeah, it's like basically Vicodin, and that just did not work. So we had this nerve block in and everything else, just not working. She's upping the pain. You see her breathing through this. She's adding extra angles, and so where'd you start?
I'm at 80 now.
Yeah, so her highest she's been is 83. We have to try to get her to 120 eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 120 is the overall goal, but in the morning she has to ease into this, and we try to add a little bit more as the day goes on, if she can tolerate. Anyway, so that wasn't working for her, so after talking to the surgeon, he's like, yeah, that's not enough. So they prescribed some Oxy and some other, what's the other one called?
It's the generic for Toradol.
Yeah, the generic Toradol, which is
like anti-inflammatory.
And so they kind of stacked those two, but the Oxy is just, man, that stuff's brutal. Don't ever get addicted to that stuff.
I don't know how you could.
It's just horrible,
Miserable.
right? We had her at a dosage. Originally we were doing every 4 hours, and that wasn't quite working, and we thought 3 hours was working really well. However, 3 hours was psychotic episodes of, by first thing in the morning, not so bad, but as you keep that 3-hour cycle throughout the day, it just, it's still in your system. You're just stacking and stacking on top. And I mean, lots of tears and just anxiety, and not worth it in my opinion. So we started backing off, trying to find the sweet spot. So we worked for probably a day at 3.5 hours, and now we're back to the 4-hour mark, and that seems better. Sometimes we have to go plus or minus 15 minutes, if the pain starts to spike pretty bad. What we've also noticed for people that are doing this, lots of ice packs are really needed, and heating pad underneath your back. Everything is so tight, and you have to do a lot of massaging to try to keep things loose. It's just, just like anything that we do in our Storm King, usually you have to work upstream and downstream of the injury. So if the knee is the injured part here, you really got to massage the hamstring and the quad and the calf and the hip and the bottom of your feet to help try to release that tension in other areas to take off the strain on the knee the best you can. And so she does that quite a bit too, and I'll do a little massaging, a little massage gun, but it's very light massaging that you do there to stroke it up. The compression hose that she has on are pretty challenging as well. I would recommend, actually what I would really recommend, if you get these TED hose coming out, and you have to wear them for 4 weeks on your bad leg and 2 weeks on your good leg. That's
to prevent clots.
Yeah, to help prevent blood clots and stuff. The problem is after 3 or 4 days, you're pretty stinky, and you're not feeling good. And so we went down to our local pharmacy and bought these compression support hose, which you have to measure to do so. So that would be my tip to you, is to measure prior to going into surgery both legs, so you have that. And if you go to your local pharmacy and tell them what you're having done, ours had a sheet and they just showed you where to measure, and now you have it. And so we were able to go down and get her a couple extra pair that she has on today.
And understand that they're $70 each.
Yeah, they're about $70 for a pair, which, so they're not cheap, right? So you have to figure that out. I'm gonna maybe try to light wash her ones upstairs, the ones that she had from the hospital, and see whether
Yeah.
that works or not. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But 4 weeks, you can see the need to get another pair. Like, I could think we need to get at least one more set, because this next leg she only has to wear another week. But if I buy another set, she can use both pairs on this leg for the following 2 weeks that she has to wear them going forward.
And the trick we learned today, putting them on.
Oh, yeah, lots of lotion. Right? Yeah, lots of lotion, and to help slide them on that.
Yeah, they're intense to get on and
And
off.
so I recorded that bathroom scene, so you can kind of see how our setup is. We had like a little bench where she can go set down, set her stuff in, having a wand shower that you can take down. I know everyone's situation, we have a pretty large shower, is different, but having a staging area prior to your shower that you can sit comfortably as possible with the right amount of support, so you can get unclothed and then get into the shower. I can't imagine you standing there very long, especially with all those loads. So we have that bench in there, and we just have her sit again, and then take the bench out and dry it off. Kind of reverse that process, clean clothes on and stuff. Also found that for the shower, like in her overall wellness, like outlook of the day, I believe the shower's key for her. She's only had one other one so far, but she had a really great day that day, and it just helps. And so what we've done is, after the first morning oxy, we time it basically 45 minutes from that. I basically want her in the shower. It hits a little bit, and she's got her pain under control, and then she can hang out in the shower for at least an hour, and we know she has a good dosage of meds on, and she comes right down afterwards and gets in this machine. And not all surgeons actually prescribe this machine anymore, so yours might not as you do that. Definitely, so far, we're almost a week into it. One more day. Every day it's better for her. As the provider, support spouse, or whoever you have in your life, friend or whatever, yeah, it's hard because you can't take away their pain necessarily. You're not quite sure how much to hold them back and how much to let them go. But she's very capable. She can get up and down and use the restroom, and you can see her go up and down the stairs and stuff. So, and you were walking the day of surgery, right? Albeit with a lot of pain. So it's a journey. Everyone says that first week is really challenging, and each week after,
There's no lie.
it gets better and better and better, right? And so, and I personally think that Dawn had a little bit more stacked against her than most, just with those things we already previously talked about. And so, her journey looks probably different than yours. So we'll keep on recording stuff and anything we find, but that's what we know a week in. We'll definitely put this together, and we'll probably, I don't know when I'll release this, how far into her journey. Might be at least a 4-week mark. We'll make it past that before we send this out to people. Heating pad, ice, massage, all of that is really needed.
This little mattress thing was a game changer.
Yeah, this is our granddaughter's mattress that when she comes and stays tonight, she stays on this, but sitting right on the floor was not good. Sitting on her bed was just too awkward. So this gave her, she was able to get on the ground, and we put her machine on this, and it allows her to sit here comfortably, more comfortable. She's supposed to do a 2-hour blocks. That's kind of hard, but she does her best. All right, Merry Christmas. Way to go, Total Neat. She's a rock star.
For various reasons, after attempting to salvage the weekend, I decided to throw in the towel and head home. In situations like these, it's really easy to dwell on what went wrong and spiral into thoughts of wasted weekend. I'm guilty of this. But the truth is, I was still in the woods and able to disconnect for at least a couple of hours. I was still able to explore a new area, this time with my pups, and take in breathtaking views of the river snaking through layers of trees and fog. I had fun watching my dogs have fun.
Okie dokie. Really quick. The 1 week recap. Really quick. The 1 week recap. So it is about 7:20 in the morning on Monday, and that's about the time that they were probably wheeling you back to start this process. So
Say I was not as calm.
no, you were not as calm. So my perspective from an outside observer is, and then while I'm doing this, you think about your little lessons learned here, is that it feels a lot like, every day feels a lot like doom and gloom for her, because there's just so much inflammation and pain and stuff. But from an outside perspective, I can almost see like progress each day, little progresses that occurred that she can't quite see because there's pain. And figuring out routines, figuring out her medication and all that is really key to managing her pain. So meds on board and having some sort of routine for switching positions as you get tired or fatigued in a certain position is key. But at the end of this week, so last night she slept in bed, which is the first time.
First time, all night.
All night,
I
and
didn't
you
sleep all night, but I stayed there all night.
you stayed up, yeah, you were able to stay in there. We tried it Tuesday when she first got home, and that just did not work.
Terrible. So I was very anxious to try it again.
And so, and she kind of found some patterns. So, what is your 1 week takeaway right now?
Well, I would agree that it does seem like, I make progress every day for sure, but I don't, like you said, I don't necessarily see it. I think I see it the next day when I look back at the day before. But when I'm in the middle of it, it doesn't feel
like it.
Yeah. I guess I didn't expect the pain to be so bad post-surgery. I just imagined that it would be uncomfortable when I was doing exercises and stuff, that part wouldn't, but I just didn't expect like the constant pain. I figured that it would be more managed with my meds. So that's been hard to deal with, I guess. But I do look back over the week and realize that I'm, 1,000 times better than I was when I first came home. So I don't know. I go back and forth. I have hope, and then I get discouraged, and
That's a very true statement.
it just gets old. And the snow. The snow is beautiful, but it's just a bummer for me because now it means I'm pretty much housebound. Like, if it was not icy, I'd be able to do just little laps outside and get some fresh air. And now, so that just feels like, when am I ever going to get out of here?
Well, I agree. Like, that is a struggle for you, just that mental thing and just dealing with the pain and not being able to see the perspective. You found, I think finding a routine when you're uncomfortable has been really important too. Like you sit in one position and then that gets uncomfortable, so you move to another. So upstairs, what were your kind of positions that your go-to?
Night?
Yeah. Maybe that would help someone else that's going through this, trying to find the right position for themselves.
It's kind of constant, like shifting, and just trying everything. And then once I've tried them all and nothing worked, then I start over at the top and I try to find another, spot. I feel like forcing myself to get up every hour and a half or 2 hours, even though I'm tired, was really helpful last night. Like, I just get up and walk to the bathroom and I stay on my feet for about 5 minutes, and then I get back in bed, and then I can kind of settle in again. But it was interesting last night because I was able to sleep on my back, kind of with just my legs out in front of me, which the interesting thing is I haven't been able to sleep like that for well over 5 or 6 years, just because it was so painful to my knee because it wouldn't go straight. So I've slept on my side for so long but I was able to sleep on my back with my legs out in front of me. So I was like, wow, even with pain, I'm already in that, in that situation, I'm already farther along than I was pre-surgery. So, so I could get on my back, and I just have a little, you know, a little pillow. I was able to kind of move around under my leg. I was actually able to sleep on my side for a little bit, both sides.
Yeah.
Even on my sore leg.
Which seems like big progress to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
So-
Dawn's now getting up and taking her own shower. She's up and down the stairs every day. And we're just saying this so we can realize it, remember it for ourselves. Today she got up and did a little straightening up around the kitchen,
The dishes.
which is
Oh,
the thing you have to let happen, even though, because she is capable now. And so she's out there doing those movements and
excited
seeing where
to
it's
be able
at.
to clean my house a little bit.
And then today we get to take off this and we get to see the dressing, and we'll document that too so we can play it in a video.
Yeah.
The goal is next
we're gonna
week.
see the incision.
Yeah, next week we'll recap how week 2 is. We'll do this recap all the way to probably like the 4 week and kind of see what our lessons are. So it is definitely, it feels like doom and gloom week 1, but I could tell you 1 week out, if you just remember 1 week out, it'll be a little bit better and a little bit better. And then eventually you'll look back and not realize how bumpy the journey can be. All right.
Yeah.
It is time. Dawn's going to take this off. Now,
Okay, if this goes badly, we're gonna shut that off if I scream.
now, what did the doctor tell you? Dr. Gouch said?
Okay, so he says it's like a command strip. So you just pull the sides here and it loosens up and you go all the way down. He said, whatever you do, don't try to peel it because it'll take skin and it will be painful. So I guess we're just gonna loosen.
Whew. It's happening, folks.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You should go get Brenda.
Yeah. Brenda would go down.
You want to see something exciting? She won't even be able to watch this video.
Not this
Ooh,
section.
it's sore.
That makes sense, the command strip process.
Yeah, that was a good visual.
So if you can't see, it's coming off and it's slowly getting back to the elastic section here. So she's, okay, go this way.
It doesn't hurt, I'm just making noise.
I'm anxious to see this.
Whew, I'm anxious. I'm sweating. This thing is gnarly. So he said this is like, you know, this innovative stuff. It's like what they use for burn victims,
Yeah.
I think. Oopsie.
So she just has this middle section now to
I'm
deal.
shaking, I'm so nervous.
Be nervous, you're doing it.
Haven't seen it.
If you hear a thud, that's me hitting the ground. No, I should be good.
Are you sure?
Okay. I have a pretty good ability for this stuff. I used to be a medic in my life, so I've seen some
Allegedly.
not good stuff.
It's really nerve-wracking. It is tough. I'm using like all my strength. This is the ouchy part in here.
And so we know our surgeon goes around the kneecap with
There's a
this scar.
slight curve, yeah.
And the reason he does that is that if the scar tissue is on top of the kneecap, trying to sit on your knees, which is going to be questionable whether you can do it or not,
Yeah.
is basically a no-go. So you're definitely not going to be able to do it if...
Wait for it. This is like, you know, Dr. Pimple Popper or something, right? Satisfying?
Kind of is satisfying. Like I feel like it's about ready to come right here.
Yeah, I'm just nervous. Here it is, baby. There's still a couple sticky spots in there.
I'm seeing it so far, folks. I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't look so bad, actually.
Oh gosh.
She's still pulling. She's just trying to get that
Adhesive off.
adhesive off the side.
It's like glue. Okay, let's start from here. Oh my gosh, that's my skin.
Yep, that's your skin.
Babe,
It's all right.
that's not all right.
It's just a rash.
No, that is like That is skin. No wonder it's been hurting so damn bad. There. Yeah, see, that's my skin here. Okay, guys, sorry about the video. That's really disgusting.
Wow. So that's probably going to feel better. So we
That's a bit concerning. Yeah, that's skin.
a little bit of skin there, where it's like a
Okay.
layer of skin.
New skin.
Yeah, coming in. But look at the
Wow.
knee. I mean, a slight curve around.
That is disgusting.
It is not disgusting. It is happy. Okay, we're gonna let it sit for a bit, air out.
Yeah.
That's big step.
Thank you for watching.
And just for a little better perspective now, you can kind of see where it's at, that new skin and the scar. Hello there, gang. Let me get my tea. Sean and Don here. Week 2.
What's the date? Is today New Year's Day?
No.
No.
Today is Sunday the 2nd.
The second.
We are technically 13 days post knee surgery. And we are at
Lake Crescent Lodge.
Lake Crescent Lodge.
They're closed.
Yeah, they're closed. We're outside. So if the wind picks up, we're sorry. We'll see how it looks once we're playing this back and whether we have to re-record this. But hopefully we get this done.
You can talk and I'll just.
Well, she'll add in.
Relax.
So week 2, I would say was from a care standpoint, for someone in the care team, harder than week 1.
You're not someone on the care team. You are the care team.
Apparently, I'm the care team. With the care team was harder.
Sorry.
Harder than week 1. And what do I mean by that is, Dawn had to take Oxy and all those opioid type things that were really messing with her head and making it hard to go. And then you have to start weaning off. And then when did you wean off those? Ish. 4 or 5 days ago?
Yeah, probably.
So
Just
probably
kinda cold turkey,
maybe like
which I know you're not supposed to do.
well, you started to go a little bit lighter.
I weaned a little bit for a day.
Maybe like 9 days after surgery, she went off of those and then tried to do, she has been doing, not try, Tylenol and Motrin, some other things that were prescribed. And then she's up and down doing a bunch of things and folding laundry, and it stresses me out a little bit, but that's part of the process of allowing the path to go. That's what you have to do. However, what I didn't know from a care point is that she was really struggling with the pain. Can we talk about the other thing you had going on?
Sure.
She had a UTI come up,
Oh, yeah.
and as a male,
I don't remember having one ever before.
I have no idea what that feels like. I know it's probably not uncomfortable or what to do for that besides antibiotics. And so I've been running back and forth to the pharmacy. I always think this is my last time here for this, and I have to go back for something else.
Shout out to Connie Walker if you ever watch this.
Yeah, Connie Walker, big shout out.
Couldn't have got through this without you on speed dial.
But emotionally, I think what happens is for you, and I think it would happen for anyone, especially we had a lot of snow. So if anyone watches, it
A lot
snowed.
of factors, I think. The holidays.
The holidays, the
All
snow
the
came
snow.
down, where Dawn technically could have went outside and walked maybe 100 yards with a cane and get some fresh
in
air.
our neighborhood, right?
A week after this, she was now housebound and really couldn't do anything, even though she was walking and doing good. And it was just mentally defeating, right? Very mentally defeating.
Discouraging.
Hence why we're at the lake right now. We're getting out and doing something and making small little steps. And then people start to, like anything, you know how it is, like when someone passes away and they don't know how long they have to say I'm sorry or I'm thinking about you. Maybe that person's still mourning. Well, in this case, you try to back out a little bit, like, okay, they're doing good, and not realizing that they're still struggling a lot. And you're not quite sure, and it's going to be unique for everyone. You're not quite sure what the right amount of support is needed this week compared to last week. So I would say check in mentally with if you're part of the care team, check in mentally with the patient and see what is the right amount, and realize that it might shift hour by hour. Might be everything's great right now, and the next hour it could be tears, right?
A lot of emotions.
A lot of emotions, and that's okay as long as you have an open perspective on that and just say, yep, this is the way it goes. I always think about it, and she gets discouraged because she's making a ton of progress. Her PT is like, wow, you're way ahead, and she's got good motion. She's still in a lot of pain, but it feels slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's frustrating.
Yeah.
To feel so slow, albeit she's processing really well. So she's not really slow. She's actually probably ahead of schedule, likely, I would say. We'll find out. She goes to see her actual in-office PT.
Mm-hmm.
This week she also went for a drive on her own. Right? She walked around the store on your own.
A little bit. I think I kind of paid for it the next day.
Yeah, I think she did. And so I think in week
It's
one
hard
to
to know.
yeah, between week 1 and 2, they tell you this all the time. Don't overdo it.
But you don't know what that means. Practical to you. What is overdoing it? Like, so
and
it's
like
kind of trial and error.
what I have tried
I'm
as
not a person that
sits around.
sits and
Yeah.
asks for help, and I hate seeing things around me that need doing, and
Exactly.
someone's doing it, and so I just get up and I do it.
Yeah.
So like I got up and I put away Christmas the other day, and the tree and all the decor, and vacuumed the house and cleaned the kitchen, and it took me a couple hours, and it just sucks because that would have been way faster in my normal life, but everything is so slow, and it was hard embracing the slow pace. Like just to walk from the car to here,
It's
you could have done 20 laps back and forth to me. I'm
maybe
so
not 20.
slow.
Probably 5
That
good
little
laps.
sidewalk felt like so far. So it's just hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, like that I won't always be going this slow.
She won't. I mean, she's gotten, like, I'm really proud of her. She's gotten so strong so quick. I'm also concerned for her because I know her attitude. I know her mindset. It's much like mine. And we go, 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 go. And so from a care team or the family team, like my thing, I kind of know a lot of her hot button things that if she sees out of her peripheral, she feels that itch to do more. And I'm not as good at those things as she is sometimes. And so I try my best to do an adequate job in whatever those hot button things are to hopefully avoid overdoing it. So I guess the week 2 recap for me is don't just assume because they're up and going that they feel back to normal in here emotionally. Even though that they might feel optimistic, and realize that the drugs and all these other circumstances can really weigh on you. I mean, even if you got up and twisted something the wrong way, it can weigh on you. Right now, her back feels a little iffy, and if that thing goes out, we're trying everything we can to avoid that. But hypothetically, if that goes out on her, it's gonna weigh down a little bit more, right? And so it's just understanding all the factors, trying to be gracious with all those factors, and optimistic as best you can. So off the drugs. Oh, the other thing, the cream, Articaine.
Arnicare?
Arnicare, is that how you say it? Or Articaine?
No.
Arnicare?
Ar-
Is that how you say it?
Arnica.
Arnica.
That's it.
The bruise cream. So we saw some videos of total knee bruising, and Dawn's is not anywhere close to some of the ones we've seen. But
To me, it looks bad.
but the bruising is so bad, and we're doing massaging lymphatic style from the ankles up. And if you just touch, I mean, it's like barely touching anything. Like just a little bit of pressure really could send her through the roof. And I was doing some scraping yesterday with like a cold scraper, little blade, and I swear I was only like barely just setting it there, and every once in a while I get to a certain spot and the nerves are starting to fire, and I was like, oh, type thing. So lots lots of icing, like you would figure out different ways. Your PT taught her some new groin stretches that helped quite a bit. So I think week 2 might end up being the hardest week potentially, just because you come out of that massive pain and then you're starting to get into more of a transitional period.
Yeah.
I pray that it's the hardest
Everything.
week.
I think every week has its own challenges. Yeah.
And so
I feel like I get past one and then something else is thrown at me. So
some other obstacle.
I guess I just there's so many things that I didn't expect,
What was
or like that surprised me. I guess I didn't think would be an issue. So
what was one?
a big one is for me not being able to move and stretch even.
Yeah.
So for my low back, with having some low back herniations and stuff, I just been so careful the last couple of years with like my stretching routine in the mornings, and there's just no like good ways to stretch right now, and so all my muscles and all my entire body just feels completely out of whack and shifted, and one hip's so much higher than the other because every step you take you're like limping, and so it's just my body, just everything hurts. Like no one told me that I would deal with that. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
The other big thing is like, what do you want to say?
Go ahead. No.
The other big thing is just the discomfort still, like just learning that it's just gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like, and just trying to manage the pain. I guess for me, I always, the biggest part was just getting through the surgery mentally. I felt like that when I got to the other side, I would be fine. Like I would just be medicated for a bit and then off I'd go. And I didn't know that this process was going to be so much fucking trial and error with what works and what doesn't work. And it's not at all kind of what I expected, and in a lot of ways. So just being, like my surgeon recommends a CPM machine, which is a constant passive motion thing.
Brings your knee like this.
For 8 hours a day for the 21 days. And so like I knew that, but I didn't know what that would feel like, being strapped into that thing for endless hours. And I still haven't gotten 8 hours a day.
It's like,
I don't know how people do it. And like you're just literally stuck there. It becomes a job, and then you're supposed to do all these exercises too. But like I could see if I was retired and 70 and I had no responsibilities, but I'm still trying to sit there and work on my laptop and do programming and order supplies and emails, and so yeah. That's been more of a challenge for sure, and then just not being able to really sleep has been probably the biggest thing. So I'm just still struggling at night a lot with a lot of that nerve pain, which no one ever told me that was going to be an issue, that I would feel like those nerve like surges
refiring
that just kind of go like from hip to toe and just kind of catch your breath each time. And it's like, I don't know, but you hear people, this is not to trivialize or to compare, but when they lose a limb, they talk about like those phantom pains, even though there's not a leg there. I kind of imagine that must be what I'm feeling like. Obviously I have a leg there, but my body and my brain,
everything's
they're
refiring.
trying to learn this new thing and trying to work the way they're used to working. And so I just get these surges that it's that nerve pain that just doesn't go away, that gets just, you want to kill someone or punch something.
Yeah, and I think the other factor.
So I need an outlet.
The other factor on that would be that, so with the nerve pain, Dawn is technically 13 days out, so I'm really proud of her. Not even 2 weeks here, but it is one of those things to where, I like how they're trying. We're at the lodge. Everyone's like, it's locked. It's one of those things to where.
Polar bear gym, soft.
Oh my goodness.
Holy smokes.
They're also jumping in the water right now. Crazy out there. But with the nerve pain going in there and seeing all those things refire, I think it's hard to correlate like what to do in those cases, right? Like how do I handle that? Also realizing that you're only 13 days out, which is less than 2 weeks, and we're at the lodge. She was driving a couple days ago. I mean, I think that's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
If you stop there and think through those like little.
Well, and I feel good a lot of times, but it's just so touch and go. Like
Yeah.
yesterday was such a bad day for
Yeah.
pain, and then today I woke up and I'm not feeling that at all anymore. So it's like, well, where did that go?
So week 3,
So-
here's what I'm worried about week 3. She starts PT, and PT gets, that's going into the office with the PT, and they're going to work her. And so my concern for her is how does she figure out how to go into PT and come out of PT with the right dosage of Motrin and Tylenol to hopefully mitigate feeling excessive pain, because you're going to feel pain. That's the biggest thing. Week 2 is you're going to feel pain. It is not a pain-free week. And you're going to feel pain to some severity, I would say, maybe up to 4 months is what they say, right? To some severity.
I would say, though, overall, that the decision to be done with the narcotics, the opioids or whatever, was a really good thing.
Yeah.
So, like, those are terrible. Just, it takes the edge off. Like, but I feel like the pain level's the same without them.
Mm-hmm.
But like the way they make your body kind of feel and shut down, and mental headspace, and you feel loopy and delirious, and going through Christmas and the holidays and all that kind of stuff. With all of that on board was just like
Hard. So,
yeah.
Well, that is our 2-week update. We'll come back on week 3. I think we're going to do 4 weeks of this, and then we'll do a final one, maybe 8 weeks out. But we'll maybe post a 4-week option so people can kind of get us started what those first 4 weeks are.
This will be good for my own
Mental thing.
self to look back.
Back. I'm really proud of her. Sorry about all the noise over there doing the polar bear dip. So have a good one. Let's see who's coming in. Yeah. Look at this. That's Dawn. Dawn coming in. Technically 2 weeks right now. There's Paige too. But this is about Dawn.
Making a video?
Nope, I'm just holding this camera to look funny.
Just for fun. I've never been so famous.
You're Insta famous. Look at her. She
This is
drove.
my paparazzi follows me around.
Yep. Let's see.
No paparazzi, please.
We're just getting content for
Stairs.
Bang.
Woohoo! Like a boss. Girl boss.
Good job, Dawn.
And you're very proud of me too.
This is 2 weeks, guys. And for those that just watched our 2-week recap, this is the day after. Alrighty. So we are 14 days.
Very close up.
Very close up. What the knees looking like. And you got a little special cream to help
Salve.
And what company is that from? Because we can probably have that in our cafe.
Yeah, this is Flower Child. This is CBD or CBG.
CBG.
Actually, CBD, CBG. Yeah, salve, hemp balm. Flower Child is the company.
Yeah. And we're working with them.
Kelly.
Yeah, I actually think
So
I mean,
this is supposed to have
it looks gnarly, but it's actually really impressive.
much better than it was.
Yeah,
This is nothing.
exactly. Folks, Dawn is going for 120. Do you see it right there?
120
120,
and -5.
which is as far as she has to
This
make
is
it.
my
this is-
graduation.
Technically our graduation. Let's see what happens. Now, today, what happened today?
Went to my first PT appointment with Sean Cash.
Her first.
And he helped break up some muscles in my calf and my adductor that I think were so bound up that were really keeping me from really getting extra range of motion here. So I think that might be the difference with that. And then we went to Ryan Stamper for my first chiropractic appointment with him, which was awesome. He was really thorough, did a full body thing, and I have lots of imbalances, which I knew about, which he's going to help me with, but really helped me get range of motion back in my knees. So I'm really excited about working with him too.
Yeah.
And I see Kirsty tomorrow for massage.
Massage therapy.
So it's the week of self-care.
Well, and just talk about why do you think that's important for all of this?
Well, because your body gets so compromised from being so shifted and compromised for so many months leading up to the surgery, and then after the surgery, you can't find a comfortable position. You can't do any stretches that I normally do, and can't sleep good at night. So I think everything, my body was just so cramped up. I was starting to get Charlie horses and everything. Yeah, so
We'll see her.
120.
And you're 115.
Woo, it's a little tight.
Right, you got one more. There, that's 120.
Okay, got it.
And you're doing it sitting up too, if you
Yeah.
think about that.
Wine helps.
So she's technically made it to where she needs to be, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, I got another, 4 or 5 days before they take the machine away, but
And so I think the important thing is you need to massage. You need to get
Yes.
all these things to break
so
up.
yeah, Sean was helpful, gave me some tools. So he showed me I should be foam rolling all those muscles around it, even if I can't get to the knee yet. Should be foam rolling. I should be using the body stick. Lots of self massage. Some like partner pressure points where you can
Oh yeah, you're
put your body weight into a couple places that I can't get to, like the hip out here and stuff. So I think that's going to be invaluable
I think
tools
so
for
too.
me. Yeah.
And just as a reminder, everyone watching this is so that you get your range of motion back, and you have to be really diligent about it. And what did Sean
So
tell you
I'm at the
guys?
2-week mark, and he told me today.
2 week, 1 day. 2
Yeah.
weeks and 1 day. Yeah.
Yeah, and he told me that I really only have until about 4 weeks to get my range back, and if I'm not there, then once the healing has gotten too far, you can't really go back. So the window for you to get your range of motion is actually quite short. So that really kind of put the fear of God into me. Like I could pull it back into 90-degree sitting angle on my own, but he said by next week I need to be at 100.
Yeah.
So I just have to be really diligent. And he said, like, my exercises, I need to treat them like a job right now. Like, I just, every hour you need to be doing them.
Yeah. And he said that
Get on the bike. He said the
favorite
bike's
thing
going to
was
be
the
the
bike.
best thing.
Backwards
So,
pedal on the bike,
yeah, so
back
you
and
go
forth.
forward and backwards. You don't go all the way around yet because you can't. But you go forward as far as you can and backwards as far as you can. And, the second time is not as bad.
Yeah, you're at 119. Yeah, so she's getting there, and I just think it's people listening to this that it's really important that he said that it's not going to be pain free. Like you have
He
to
said
get.
it's one of the worst. In his opinion, it's the worst surgery post that with clients that he works with.
Yeah.
But he said it's your pain and your brain that's not allowing you to get to that range of motion. The knee will do it. Like
Yeah.
he said, you can't hurt it.
Yeah.
Whereas it feels like it's going to tear out of your skin, but it's going to be fine.
So-
It's just, can you push through the pain?
Feels like a big day, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big day.
Good job. Good job. All right, Dawn, you just came back from your massage therapist. What was the verdict?
The verdict?
Yeah.
Well, she said she was surprised to see me looking so well at 2 weeks. She was expecting a much different person, I guess, to walk in.
Yep.
Because I just came marching right up through the snow all by myself, and she's like, ah!
Now,
She
Dawn.
said there was the swelling. She was expecting to see lots of swelling still and really raw incision, and she said it's usually still really red and hot at this time, and she does, works with a lot of people post-surgery, so yeah. So she said that it seems like I'm, way ahead of other people that she's seen, so
Now, Dawn, be honest. Did
We
you feel
will
that?
see.
Did you feel this way on Sunday?
Sunday?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I definitely turned a corner.
You definitely have turned the corner. See? Keep positive, people, on your total knee journey. Keep positive.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about this product that I've been using because it has been a huge game changer, friends. So, we have a member at the gym, a newer member in the past 6 months or so, but she owns a company called Flower Child, and they make CBD and CBG products. And so she gave me this to try post-surgery just because it's supposed to be really good for scar healing and bruising and pain. And I didn't use it for the longest time. I kind of forgot I had it. Well, not the longest time, probably the first 10 days, 11 days. And then I thought, I should try that and see what it feels like, just because I've been trying everything. I tried Arnica and Voltaire or whatever the other one is. Didn't really notice any change in the pain or the bruising, even though I religiously massaged it in over and over all day long. Started with this stuff, and I can't believe it, but it is magic. So good that, in fact, I already went through one little tub that she gave me to sample, and I, like, after 2 days, I went through that thing, and I reached out to her and I said, can I overdo it with this stuff? And she said, no, you can use it as much as you want, even though it might make you feel kind of drowsy, because it does have quite a bit of CBG in it, which I don't even know what all of that means. Anyway, wow. So my routine now has been, especially through the night, because it's my hardest time, sleeping and getting comfortable. So my routine now has been every about 2.5, 3 hours during the night. I get up, I walk around back and forth to the bathroom, then I sit down in the bathroom and I just massage this in, up and down my whole leg, all the way to the ankle, over and over and over, and just work it into the muscles. And then I'm able to go back to sleep for another 3 hours, and then I kind of repeat throughout the night. So absolutely amazing. So Kelly, who you're going to meet soon, but we're going to actually be selling her product line in the cafe, and there's lots of things that they sell. But she's going to be doing a workshop. We're going to be posting a little video informational to really allow her to discuss her products and her company. They're all online right now. Flower Child, you can go check them out. But crazy. So she also gave me a sleep tincture, which is CBD based, and and CBG, and we tried it last night for the first time. It's oil, so she said just start out with a tiny bit. It's pretty potent, but also really super impressed with how well it worked in helping me relax and stay asleep for those chunks of time. So I'm a huge believer. I'm gonna definitely need to get another little tub of this stuff soon. But if chronic pain or muscle pain or bruising or scars, anything like that is something that you deal with, I would absolutely recommend that you check out this stuff for sure. But stay tuned for more on kind of her products and how that will be in the cafe. One more thing I actually forgot to mention is the pain relief of it, which I was mentioning. But I had a PT session this morning at 7:50, first thing in the morning, and I could not believe how much progress I'd made from Tuesday when I was in there, when I was at my first PT session with not a lot of pain. Super impressed. My PT was very impressed. Like, I couldn't believe the progress I'd already made in 2 days. I was able to pull back to like 102 degrees and get it totally flat to 0 degrees, which was a massive improvement from Tuesday even. So I'm going to say that this is really the only thing that I'm using other than ibuprofen and Tylenol. So I think this is it. But we realized that I haven't taken any pain meds today since 3:30 this morning. And I just realized, oh, it's noon and I haven't taken anything and I'm not in pain. So, wow. So we're going to ice and just massage it in. So just kind of to show you, like, it goes a long way. And it's really oily, but it doesn't stain your clothes or anything like that, but it just feels amazing. And so I actually massage it really deep and kind of massage all the muscles, and it takes me about 5 or 10 minutes to really, probably 5 minutes to really work the leg. And I, like, all my other muscles around the knee have been so tight and sore, and Charlie horses and stuff. So and then I go all the way down to my foot. I've had pain in my Achilles and the arch and my plantar and all that kind of stuff since surgery, and I haven't been feeling that at all the last few days. So Kelly, thank you. Huge thank you.
All right, guys, look at this. The Dawn Mason. How many days out we are? We are 14.
Monday will be 3 weeks.
So we are 19 days
18,
out.
19, okay.
19 days out.
So surgeon cleared me
To get in the hot tub.
get in the hot tub, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna still wrap it
Yeah, her scar looks totally healed. Not healed, but like closed up.
closed up, yeah.
And
But
so,
there's just one little spot, and so I just want to be safe, extra safe,
as we
and
go.
we're gonna wrap it, and we're getting in.
We're getting
Yay.
in. And she's gonna do some stretching in there as we go. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't mean to brag, folks, but look who's on her walk right now on day 18 around this block. It's going to be slow. She technically could have started this probably 4 days ago, but the snow was too much for her to do it. So her first block walk. We'll see how she does. Well, you just missed it, folks. Dawn was restocking the coffee on the ladder. Back to work, she is. Woman, back to work. Dawn Mason. She is 19 days out. She's back working out. She's doing a little horse back.
That's pretty straight, right?
Yeah, it's pretty straight.
Yeah. You can't get your hand underneath, can you?
I could, but it's just a ball. Yeah, it's all right.
I think he measured it still at 0 or -1. Because really when you get it flat, that's hyperextension. Oh! That's about it.
Okay, hold on. All right, guys. So what we're going to work on here is getting Dawn's range of motion down using the box squat, one of our standard techniques we do here for people with immature squat or rehab. So we're going to start out on height. One thing that Dawn usually do is really drop her head down her knee like this, yeah. So now she's going to try to do more upright and down and be controlled. So we're trying to find where her control is. So see how she's balancing there. No, you got it. Got that down. Let's try it. Okay, stand up.
Standing up is okay.
Dawn thinks it's too low. We're gonna try this. The thing is, I'm gonna look on the front and see. That's good. So let's fire up. And let me see what that looks like in house 10. Okay, now let's see. Tracking. It's pretty square. You just shift at that last little second down.
Standing up is much easier.
So let's see again. Can you try to just control fire, so back, fire. Knees out, knees out. There you go. That was way better. Okay. Want another one? Or you feel like that's a low? At this height? Okay. So her goal is, she's already done her PT today, her exercises. See, that's a little shift. Yeah. Everything's a little tight. So knees out. Knees out on the squat, knees out, knees out, knees out, knees out. Better. Okay. I asked what do we do on a Saturday night in our house? Not quite 2 weeks from having these We've been working on our day. Keeping the balance, stretching how we get. But watching on the table, well, let's snacks and ice cream. We'll show start this later. The stuff you kind of have to do. We had a great day, did a lot of work. I went to work out. Tighten up and keep it away. So we have to kind of balance it today. Out again for a walk. Here we are, walking in the neighborhood. On the ice, no doubt. Actually, we're being really cautious here. But, look, tomorrow's 3 weeks. And tomorrow's 3 weeks for everything. Tomorrow's 3 weeks. So, how you feeling?
Pretty good. It's you know, comes and goes. Good days and bad days still, but definitely feels good to be out and moving and having all my appointments and all my rehab stuff. All makes a difference.
Gives you a focus.
Yep.
Yeah, last night we discovered some things that, some of the stuff that Sean Cash, our PT, does when she does office visits, when she does his office visits, that we got up on the dining room table and simulated those.
Yeah,
I know that sounds kinky, but, well, we'll show you the video. You might go, well, that is kind of kinky looking. But it actually helped her.
Works.
Whatever works to get her her going was the deal there. So, and then you did a lot of exercises yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, which is
Did a
nice.
workout and stuff,
so that's part of the
Definitely
balance of
feeling
figuring
it.
out how much you can
Yeah,
do each
yeah.
day, how much you can tolerate, right?
yeah. It's just
So-
surprising with how much just a little effort just knocks me out.
Yeah. But she's doing really good, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this week's been really
Busy.
a lot of discoveries, a lot of new
Yep.
discoveries.
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
The trail walk
Well,
one time out.
I think you can make that, but I think that should be on like maybe a rest day when you're not doing your activities in the gym.
Yeah, so maybe like Thursday or something.
Yeah, so I think if you're going to average 5,000 steps a day and you're still going in to do therapy into the gym and you're still going in to do your strength sessions, you need to limit your walk. You know, it just becomes one of those things where, like, I think what I would do is like, yeah, I think like on Thursdays or Sundays, like, if we're going to do a trail walk twice a day without therapy at one point, then you know, that feel every day. It's not. It is Sean and Don, but
You can't even see Don.
yeah, I can see you right here. You have to look up.
Oh, there I am.
Don't worry, you're in frame. It's just a big lens.
You're in frame.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
So let's see. It is. We're at the 3 week update. So it's 3 week and 1 day.
3 weeks and 1 day.
I will say that the third week, so far your best week.
It's been 1 day.
No, we're going
That's
into
why.
the fourth week.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is the third. It's 21 days yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 21 days yesterday. The 14 to 21 days section.
Yes.
Definitely your best week.
Yes, I would agree. I
So
would say that at the 2 week mark, I made a definite turnaround, and then every day was just a little bit better after that. And still, I think every day is just a little bit better.
yeah,
So-
so what was the big breakthrough for you?
I think at the beginning of week 2 is when I really totally transitioned off of the narcotic or the opioid and switched to just Tylenol, ibuprofen, kind of around the clock. So the start of that, adding the CBD massage was a big deal. And then starting PT and chiropractic and then sprinkling in massage. So I would say all of that factored into like just a much better week overall. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
And then you had a couple aha moments that you kind of wanted to share a little bit on with nutrition and some of the other things that.
Yeah, I mean, I like setting goals for myself, so that's been really good. Just little goals, like today at PT, I was talking with Sean Cash about, what's full range of motion? What should I really be going for? Like, what's the best I could get? And he said, well, some patients end up around 130, and some patients can even get 140. So I thought, well, that would be a good goal. I was at 106 this morning. And so it seems like I go twice a week. Every appointment I've made progress, like 5 or 6 degrees. And so I thought, well, if I cut back to like 3 to 4 degrees even, like how long would that take me to get to, 130, 140? And I did the math. It was like with 3 degrees every appointment, like the first or second week of February, I would be there. And so, like, just to kind of put it in perspective for me, that's really not very far. But then also, like, it just motivates me to, like, do all of the right things and stuff. So I also had a good conversation with him about, like, how do I know if I'm overdoing it? And, like, I've been back in the gym this week, and I feel like I'm doing nothing, but, like, on those days, I feel like the whole day I pay for it. I'm just so tired, and it wears me out, but then like everything swells. And
let's just be clarified.
And by being in the gym, what I'm doing is I'm just going to the gym and I'm not taking part in the class. I'm just doing all my protocol and all my rehab stretches and exercises.
And that's not the part he says overdoing.
And so, I mean, I spent about an hour doing that, and then maybe another 20 minutes kind of just gently riding the bike. And then I did like the tiniest little walking workout, which didn't even get my heart rate up. And it was like mostly just upper body and stuff.
And that was the part he thought was
overdoing it. A little bit of squats.
it.
And so when I kind of told him what that looked like, he said, yeah, I think it's probably still overdoing it.
But to be clarified, the overdoing part is the last little portion.
He said I don't need to focus really too much on strength right now. Like, that shouldn't be a priority. It's all about my range of motion right now, and that has to be my priority. And just kind of rebuilding from the ground up. And I was strong before, and he reiterated the same thing, which I learned from Kelly Starrett's protocol, and he said the same thing. You were strong before, you'll be strong after. So that part will come back quickly when it's safe to do so. But right now I just really probably need to dial it back a little bit and just do my stretches. It can take an hour, stretches and exercises an hour, plus if I do a little rowing or biking, very low key for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes or so like that, and just call that good.
Yeah.
Plus being on my feet and being at the office more, getting more steps in, and all of that adds to it as well.
Just volume, wears you out.
Yeah, so I think every week I'll be able to maybe add a little bit more, but right now I'll probably just go back to stretching.
Well, and we also discovered that chiropractic, so we have chiropractic appointments.
Yes.
And you did a little massage therapy too.
Yeah.
Made the world of difference, especially because your hips got out of line a little bit and you can't really walk as best
whenever
you
you
can.
limp, even though like you're always overcompensating,
Yeah.
so it's really normal for some of the other things to kind of flare up a little bit. So I'm feeling that right now. In fact, when I was at my PT today, he asked me what my pain level was, and I was like, actually, I don't really think I'm having any, which I can't remember ever saying that in the last few weeks. So I feel like my knee, when I'm just sitting, is actually not really bothering me too much anymore. Now it's kind of like my hip and my low back and those other issues. So I just have to it's just so important to work all of it. You can't just focus on the one thing. So you really have to upstream, downstream everything.
All the time.
It's super, super important.
And I think we should also say when she's at 106 degrees now, That's a different than the machine that you saw where it was like 120. This is really sitting there and being able to pull your leg back. I know you can't see my leg.
Your
pull it-
heel towards your glute.
Yeah, your heel to your glute and measure that. Where the machine, is pushing into that movement. And, as we kind of analyze the photo, we're like, yeah, that's probably not a true 120 as it relates to what they're measuring in PT.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely
that was
different group.
interesting. Yeah.
But so the other thing that Sean said is that he wants her to try to get on her knees this
Start
weekend.
kneeling.
And so,
for the first time
yeah,
in 10 years at
maybe we
least,
try that
I
in gym
could
on
remember.
the rubber mat.
kneel
Maybe that's the
cushion.
right thing.
And obviously it's a way to pull myself up if it's too much. So like I was thinking maybe I put like a mat under the rings or something. So I
Yeah,
can just pull
to
myself
pull yourself
up.
up.
And
You
down,
can
yeah.
lower yourself down. Yeah.
But I can start kneeling on it, and the incision's totally healed, so I can really start massaging and working the scar tissue out, which is really uncomfortable. But we did a bunch of that today, so yeah.
Yeah. So
Good stuff.
Third-
With nutrition, the one thing I just wanted to mention was because I know, all my nutrition clients, is something that they deal with is like feeling like when you can't be in the gym that all of a sudden you're going to lose everything and lose all your gains and you're going to just balloon up. And so that's been, of course, that's something that everyone deals with when you are someone who needs that fix in the gym every day, which is kind of how we are for mental health and just the way we feel and whatnot. So I knew that would be a struggle. But it's interesting. The scale hasn't really changed at all. Like I'm definitely maintaining.
just knees lighter.
Yeah. So even though my diet's totally off, it's still, it's fine. So I haven't seen any weight gain or whatever. It'll be interesting to in-body myself again when I'm done rehab and kind of can get back into the gym to see how much muscle I did lose.
Yeah.
Because that'll be interesting from my last in-body to this next one. So obviously there's muscle mass loss and it's clear. So but as far as how I look or feel or weight on the scale or whatever, it's pretty much the same. Nutrition's been weird though, for sure. So if you're someone that goes through this kind of surgery, I would say prepare for it to be weird for a while. So like some days I just have zero appetite still. Like yesterday was a weird day. I was in kind of more pain and just couldn't really eat much. And then today felt fine again. So I'm just really trying to prioritize protein and drink a lot of water. And other than that, if it looks good, I eat it and I don't worry about it.
There you go. If it looks good, you eat it. So I think what we're going to do is one more week, and then we'll call this the first series in this, and then we'll probably just do one more video at the end of 8 or 12 weeks there. And then if you want to see more information of how it's going, you're just going to have to follow our channel and see us out on adventures, and you'll be able to judge if she's out hiking on the beach or up a mountain or something like that. You're knowing she's doing good. And that's what we're hoping for. So she'll get there.
Yep.
All right, good update. Hey, best laid plans don't always happen here. So this is take 2 of our week 4 update. I was putting the video together and realized this one file out of all these ones that you've watched thus far was corrupt. And that said, corrupt. That said, if you have made it this far, this video is over an hour long. You're probably getting a total knee, or you're our super fans,
Or you know someone who
or
is.
someone is getting a total knee. So, with that, do it, right? Do it.
Yeah.
So week 4 was technically yesterday, 28 days from the surgery.
Yep.
What we learned on this last week was, as everyone tells you, it gets better each week.
Yeah.
And I think the documenting of this process for ourselves, and if you are a patient or going to be someone or a caretaker for a patient, I would suggest you document either on your phone or take photos progress, because for you, you're stuck in the pain cave,
Yeah,
and
at
working
times.
through it.
Yeah.
But visual representation, like, no, look what you've done.
Right. Yeah. It's good to have those milestones to kind of keep you going. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
to
see
keep you
where-
kind of looking
where
at.
you're making progress. Yeah.
So this last week, besides her PT, chiro, you've been in the gym more, exercising more, which you saw some of those videos earlier on. And she's continuing this. So right now she
Yeah.
goes into the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday,
Yep. That's the plan this week.
and then maybe adding to, and you go on Saturday.
Saturday.
And maybe going into starting on Tuesday,
Yeah.
maybe next week or the week after.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's her normal schedule, by the way. I mean, her normal gym schedule was
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
Plus she works there too, so she's there all the time. So you've been in the office all last week for the most part?
Yep. Yep. So definitely a big change from 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Every week I notice big changes from the week before,
Yeah.
but then also from day to day, just I notice little things here and there where sometimes it takes me a second to realize, oh, I just did that and I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
But when you compare week to week, it definitely is big.
Oh,
Change.
the one thing you did, and I do have this video, and I'll insert here, is that you walk down the stairs
Yesterday,
properly,
for the first time.
and
Yeah, like 1 foot to the next step to the next step.
going upstairs not
Been
hard,
going upstairs for a while.
square.
Yeah, but coming down, it just puts too much shear force on that forward motion. So yeah, at the gym, there's a staircase that goes up to the second floor when you first go in, and there's a railing on either side.
Yeah.
So with just a little bit of help, I was able to kind of test it out. So up and down several times and kind of figured that out. So that felt like a big
milestone.
Yeah. Also kind of pushed myself through like my first 20-minute workout.
Yeah, you got a sweat going
with
on
a
Monday.
little bit of sweat, a little bit of intensity. And I had tried to do that the week before, just one little workout, but I feel like it was too soon. It really kind of set me back a little bit, feels like. But this week, yeah, I felt a lot stronger. Like my body feels like it's more ready to kind of push a little bit more. So just finding things I can do and sprinkle those in and rest a lot. And it's very much a walking pace, and I'm really trying to take it slow. Like so much of it is just learning how to manage wanting to push hard and have that strong mental toughness, but then sometimes that's not good because then you push too hard and then you pay for it. So it's this constant trying to manage the swelling and the pain and push. And so it's tricky, and it's hard to figure out.
And it's important to push because you have to get your range of motion.
Right.
So it's every day is a little different, right?
Yeah.
And one day after today she went to her PT and they did a lot of scar scraping, and that caused her knee to get
So it's pretty angry today, where it's felt
swollen.
really good. Yeah, but so today.
But it's part of the
definitely
process,
sucky.
right? It's part of the process of that you're doing.
Yeah. So it's just managing the swelling a lot and lots of icing and elevating still, which I think at this point a lot of people don't stick with. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's been really helpful in keeping my swelling down to a minimum, because when my swelling stays lower, I make more progress. And if I don't pay attention to that, then it just kind of shuts me down, because then you can't move it anymore.
Mhm.
As much as you mentally want to be tough, it just won't go.
Yeah, it's tight.
So yeah, definitely mornings are best. I make like going to the gym in the morning, and I would recommend most people are going to feel better and move better in the morning after some stretching and whatnot.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, it's usually pretty sore. So
Yeah, you got to work through it. So that's the 4-week update.
Yeah.
A couple things here. If you like all this stuff and you want to see how she puts this to use out in the field, that's why we did it, so we can get out and do our travels. Like and subscribe. We will do one more video. It won't be this long. It'll be an 8 to 12 week wrap up. It's basically talking about different milestones that we learned going on. Like and subscribe if you want to see that too. If you are getting a total knee, or you know someone getting a total knee, share this with them.
Yeah.
Dawn's under 50 and she's an athlete, right? And so it is a new world out there for total knees, and don't wait. We talked about that in our intro. Don't wait.
Yeah, definitely.
Go get
the
the
technology's come so far, and you might be surprised with your results and your progress after. Like, they really streamlined the process so well that there's such good patient outcome with the surgery, even though, like, my surgeon said it's one of the gnarliest surgeries that he does, as far as, like, you know, immediately after those first few weeks are pretty rough, but it has, you know, one of the highest patient outcomes as far as, like, people getting back to life and being able to do a lot more than they thought. So so our advice is, if it's something that you know is in your future, like, don't put it off. There's really no reason to. Like, once you start losing quality of life and have to keep taking
something else
a
away,
few things away as it
worth
gets worse, I would say that's not worth losing those memories and those experiences that you could have. So looking back, I wished, now that I know what I know, I wished that I would have done it, you know, a year before, and been past
a year,
this part. But
and
so that's my biggest piece of advice, is that start pursuing it now and asking those questions. And sometimes it may take finding, you know, a second opinion or a third opinion, and finding the right surgeon that, you know, works with athletes too, and the right care team as far as your PT, and we're doing chiropractor and massage, and the whole team, I think, has just been really, really beneficial.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to see what I can get back to.
And then last thing, if you have any comments, like if you're going through this and you're like, have a specific question, post them below, and we will do our best to answer. Remember, it's unique for everyone, but we'll give you our perspective of how we thought it was. As I was putting this video together today, I messaged her. I'm like, "Ooh, it's emotional for me to watch this again, because I see her in the pain and the scare of going in," and so it brought up a lot of emotions that were 4 weeks ago. And it will be, it'll be a knee replacement journey and also an emotional journey. But I guarantee you will be happy at the end. So, thanks, guys.
Thanks.